Hello, welcome to my YouTube. My name is Kaylee, and I talk about all things health, fitness, lifestyle, all the things. And today I actually wanted to talk about my fitness goals for 2026 because they're a little different than they were in 2025. And I'll touch on what they were in 2025, but I wanted to dive into sort of like what my goals are this year. So, in 2025, I spent a lot of time trying to build muscle. So, I did well, the first part of the year, I leaned out quite a bit. And I did a calorie deficit, and I'll show you sort of what that looks like here. The middle of the year, I really spent maintaining my weight, and so I'll show you what that looks like here. And after I maintained my weight, then I went actually into like a little mini lean bulk, which I had never done before. I was very nervous about it, but um I really wanted to put on some muscle, and I wanted to put on quite a bit of muscle, as much muscle as I could before we went into 2026, because this year I want to lean out again, but also sort of maintain the muscle that I built in 2025 because I worked really hard for that. So um this year, however, my goal is to lean out as much as I can. So right now I'm at about 170 pounds. And the hard part for me is I know that there's fat mixed in with that, but I don't know what my body split is between muscle and fat. So I'm just trying to like maintain that as best as I can, because obviously I want to lose the fat and not my muscle. So I'm just trying to gauge it, like, starting out slow with my calorie deficit, make sure I'm not losing strength in the gym, make sure I'm fueled enough for my workouts, and just, yeah, make sure I'm able to sort of push through my workouts. And then really want to go through like a lean out period. Probably I started in January, and it'll go for a little bit. I'll do a couple weeks for maintenance, and then probably go another 8 weeks or so. So probably till summer, I'm going to be in this like sort of leaning out phase. Then I'll probably do maintenance for a couple of months just to sort of maintain it, give my body a break. And then to be determined, but I don't know if I'm going to do another sort of lean bulk or if I'm going to cut again. It's just really, it all really hinges on how this cut goes, and then, maintenance, and then how I'm feeling after maintenance. Like, we'll just have to see what ends up happening. But that's sort of like my plan for the year. And then as far as, so my goal actually, I used to have a like pound goal that I was trying to get to. But really I feel like I'm going to know it when I feel it, and I'm going to know it when I see it. Like, once I get to a certain weight and I feel lean and cut, and I can see the muscle definition and all those things, I think I'm going to feel like, okay, this is a good spot for me to switch to maintenance. So we'll just see how it goes, and obviously I'm keeping track of it on YouTube, so everyone will see how it sort of goes. But so that's sort of my like cut, maintenance, blah 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 plan. But for my strength goals and for my like exercise goals, um last year, and I talk about this in another video, last year I had a shoulder injury. It's disabling me from being able to do shoulder press, which is really sad because I feel like I worked really hard on my shoulder muscles. I'll show you a picture right here. Like, my shoulder definition was pretty on point, and then I got pretty pretty injured, honestly, to where like I could not do that shoulder press movement. I could do all sorts of other movements, but like the shoulder press movement in general was like really hurting. And so I had to take a break from shoulder press. But my goal last year was to get to 50-pound dumbbells on the shoulder press. And I wasn't able to get there just because of that injury. And so my goal now this year is to sort of work myself back up because it's starting to feel a little bit better. So my goal is to get back up to the 50-pound dumbbells by the end of this year. My other goal that I did not get to do last year, again because of sort of my shoulder injury, was a pull up. So I'm aiming for a pull up where I'm using a little bit more of my biceps. I'm working really hard on my back muscles right now, but trying to use my biceps a little bit more. So doing that sort of pull up, I'd love to be able to do that by like mid year. I don't think it should take till the end of this year, but I'm really working hard on being able to do my pull ups. Um, and then as far as like everything else goes, my biggest goal I think for squats is to be able to squat my body weight if not higher. Honestly, I think it'd be so sick if I was able to like squat 200 pounds, but I just don't know that that's going to happen this year, maybe next year, but like we'll just have to see how this year goes. Right now I got up to like, and this was with a back injury that I had too towards the end of 2025, but 2025 was rough, but I've gotten back up to like 155 on the squat, so maybe 200 isn't that far off by the end of this year. We'll just have to see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I got up to 200-pound deadlift last year, and that was actually one of my goals. So that was exciting. I don't really have any deadlift goals. I would just sort of like to like maintain that strength that I have. Today I did 190 on the deadlift, so that was good, especially because I'm in a calorie deficit. So I'm able to like maintain that strength. But yeah, those are sort of some of the goals that I have. And then also just like really being very intentional about my steps this year. Like last year I sort of let it come and go. I wasn't as diligent with it as I was with a lot of other things. And so this year I'm like, no, we've really got to try and get these 10,000 steps or more, because, that aids in fat loss and everything like that. And it's just good for your health, your endurance, etc. So really trying to work on that, really trying to hone in on that. But really that those are sort of my goals. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. I'll know it when I see it, when I start getting lean. And I'll sort of like, update the channel as I go along. But yeah, those are my goals for 2026 for fitness and health. And yeah, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening to my tangent about my goals. And if this is like interesting to you and you want to sort of like join the journey and follow along, please subscribe. I would love to have you along. I'm trying to grow my YouTube this year. And so I just love the long form content a lot better than the short form. So, yeah, I would love to have you along for the journey, love to have you along for the ride. And if you have any questions or comments or whatever, please just let me know in the comments or DM me on social media or whatever it is. I'm happy to help, happy to answer any questions that I can. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.